Make a mark, and don't miss. Go ahead.
Get him right in the onion.
Okay. Okay, this is an interesting guy. Prince Tega Wanago, or how do you pronounce that, Murray? Do you know?
I have no idea.
He's a guy from Auburn. Prince Tega Wanago. Wanago. Okay.
I like Wanago better.
I want to go with him.
The name game.
Okay.
Come on, everybody.
I'm going to assume this was
right.
I say now let's play a game.
Oh, I see it.
I bet you I could make a rhyme
Oh, yes.
out of anybody's name.
Amani
The first letter of the name.
Orurari.
I treat it like it wasn't there.
Amani
But a B or an F
Orurari.
or an M will appear. And then I say,
Money, bovani, banana, fana, fofani, fee, fine, mo, money.
Amani Orurari.
let's do Tony. Tony, boboni, banana, fana, fofoni, fee, fine, momoni.
Uruwayi.
Pretty good. Let's do Billy. Billy, bo illy, banana, fana, fo Billy, fee, fine, mo millie.
Amani Oru Rai Rai.
Jojuan. Joejuan. Jojuan Williams from Vanderbilt.
Everybody do.
Jojuan.
Jojo, one banana, fana, fofo, one, fee, fine, momo, one.
Jojuan.
I think it's Jawan.
The name game.
Looks like it's Jojuan. Okay. Orurari. Amani Orurari.
Uruwayi.
Urari.
Amani Oru Rai Rai.
Did we get it?
All right, welcome back to the Felger Mazz program presented by DraftKings. Felger Mazz Big Board. That's how we do our draft analysis. We shoot markers or something at draft magazines, and that predicts who the Patriots are going to pick. We've gotten 9 guys in 8 years, gotten at least 1 guy every single year since we started this, except for 1. The only year we missed was the year they only drafted 4 guys. So the track record of this is pretty good, as goofy as this is. Mazz coming to you from his palatial suburban estate. What are we going to do today, Mazz?
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First of all, it's my Peterson School sweatshirt. They've been kind enough to give it to us, so I want to thank the people at the Peterson School. So here's what we're going to do. I have to ask our TV producer, Vinny Crouch, if he can show the big board. Did we get the big board camera working properly? So I'm going to ask Vinny if he can pop that up there, because I think we got it up. We have a separate camera on the big board, you'll see.
There you go.
Okay. It's not exactly straight. We had a little bit of a scramble. We had a problem with the second TV camera. So you'll see Jimmy Stewart, Billy Lanny, all on the big board. There's a reason you don't see players there, okay? And the reason is I turned the sheets of paper around because today we're going to throw darts. And I'm reasonably accurate with darts, so I didn't want people to think it was rigged. So here's what I did. There were 6 pieces of paper there with defensive tackles on them.
Yep.
They are facing the board, and I covered them and mixed them up and even put some of them upside down.
Yeah.
So I didn't know where the players were.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw darts at the big board, and then after we throw 3 darts, I'm going to go over and get the pieces of paper while you talk, and then we'll actually uncover who we got.
Love it.
It's a long way.
Does that make sense?
Long way to go to say you're a braggart when it comes to darts, Mazz. Is really.
I know that's the lead of that whole thing. He thinks he's pretty snappy with darts.
Well, no, but I have more accuracy than I would with a marker. So I just figured we would be we would be on the level. I don't want people thinking that we engineered or orchestrated this thing. So here you go. Here are your 3 darts. We're gonna throw them. There you go. 1 on Billy Lanny. 1 on Jimmy Stewart. And there you go. It looks like we got the Murray Fuppet with the last one. So there you go. Those are your 3 darts. I'm gonna go out there.
Mazz, You know what? You're right, though. I mean, those are pretty accurate darts right there.
Well, so see, there you go. I mean, that's what I was a little worried about. So let me go and grab them, and you chat with Murray for a minute.
First of all, Murray, do you think defensive tackle's a need here for this team?
Absolutely. I thought that group up front last year was good, not great. They certainly could be better against the run, and now that they've lost Danny Shelton, absolutely. I think that they need help on both lines, but, defensive tackle is something they should be looking at, and maybe at 23 with that first pick they have.
So you'd even go 23 there?
Yeah. I mean, I want speed on defense. I would look at a linebacker, but if they took, I don't know, if they took someone up there, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, big, fat, two-gapping guy. Vince Wilfork was taken around there, and that was a grand slam home run. He was certainly worth it. But, unless you're giving me Vince Wilfork at detail, it'd be one thing if they ran a scheme, Murray, where those guys blitzed or got upfield and one gapped and, you could use explosiveness and playmaking. That's sort of the defensive tackle position. There's sort of a hold them up, two-gapping sort of spot. I don't know.
There's a guy that could be Wilfork, so that's what I was trying to think of the name, and I was like, I don't think he's going to be at 23. It's Derek Brown at Auburn, and he's not. He's going in the top 10.
Okay. So, Mazz, have you collected your selections yet?
Apparently not.
Doesn't sound like he has.
Still marveling at his kill shots through the head of Billy Lanny, through the head of Jimmy Stewart, through the head of the big Jim Fuppet.
If you're watching on the simulcast, though, it's like my camera work and my production skills very shaky with me and my two daughters and the wood. You think she'd know a thing or two, with being in TV and all this. But Mazz is professionally done two-camera shoot. He's got the switcher back at the
it's like a it's like a Spielberg production.
Yes, it really is. All right, Mazz, you got your selections ready?
I do. I got them so that the pinholes went through, the dart holes went through to the other side. So our three selections are, you have your book in front of you, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so number 7 in your book should be Raekwon Davis from Alabama. You'll see I circled him right here. Yep. Raekwon Davis of Alabama.
He'd be a good fit. I actually know this name mostly because he's named after one of the members of the Wu-Tang Clan. That's for real, by the way.
Okay, but hold on. Hold on. Just give me the other two.
Okay, the next one is number 13 in your magazine, Michigan State. Another Raekwon Williams. Big on the Raekwons at defensive tackle. Okay. And the final one is Penn State, number 17, Robert Windsor is the guy that we hit. So those are your three guys.
Okay, Murray, you give me your scouting report on Raekwon Davis, if you like.
I mean, he'd be kind of the consummate patriot, I would think, coming out of Alabama, over 300 pounds. You could probably get him, or you could definitely get him at 23, but based on where the mocks have him anywhere in the second or third round. Again, this is an area of need, and based on where he went to school, the size, I like him. This was someone that I've read on some of the Patriots blogs. Have the Patriots taken him? So it's one of the reasons I knew the name, and again, because he's named after one of the members of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay, most importantly, let's get the priorities right. Here's Mazz, I'm going to read the scout reports from the other magazine because I think they're a little goofier, but it's the same guy. Yeah, Lindy Sports has Raekwon Davis as the number 4th ranked defensive tackle. Okay. Strengths. Among the most physically imposing players in the country. Blessed with a rare height, broad shoulder, and muscular vines for arms that Davis uses with great effectiveness.
Why do they got to do that? Just say arms.
Vines.
Better vines than tree trunks.
Muscular vines, this guy. Davis shows impressive initial quickness off the snap, challenging tackles outside shoulder when operating on the edge. When playing inside, his quickness can surprise would-be blockers, and he shows impressive strength and an effective push-pull technique, Murray, to rip himself free. So he's got some flexibility there. Plays inside-outside. That's big for them.
Yeah, I've read about the versatility, good against the run. So, again, the guy sounds like he'd be a perfect fit for them.
Okay, Davis lacks the sustained speed or flexibility to dip around the edge and close on quarterbacks as a traditional edge rusher, okay? So he's not a traditional edge guy. He is a bit straight line in his movements, like a lot of defensive linemen of his size, and has to gear down to change directions. Oh, he's got to gear down. Okay.
Not so high speed, right?
There's Raekwon Davis. We'll put him on the board. All right, how about your other one? How about Raekwon Williams, Michigan State, 6'4", 287. Lindy's has him projected to go in the 5th round. His strengths, he keeps his pads low throughout plays and refuses to give away leverage. Connection between his... This is great. Connection between his halves creates good body control.
Don't they mean calves? Like
Nope.
what the hell are
I
calves?
swear to God, Halves, halves. A connection between his halves creates good body control. Does anyone care to translate?
Yeah, I think his upper body and his lower body operate independently.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. What do you want me to tell you?
I love this. I love the pre-draft stuff. Weaknesses. He lacks the mass to stand up against double teams. Still learning how to implement his average power.
Aren't we all?
Average power in his hands. I'll tell you this, Lindy's magazine is very into the hands. Average power in his hands makes it harder to discard blockers as the ball arrives. He's a predictable pass rusher who doesn't bring anything dynamic to the table. Hand usage lacks polish. He's a slow burn rusher who doesn't... What does that mean? A slow burn rusher?
No, he wears you down.
He's a slow burn rusher who doesn't find penetration very often. Poor fella.
Oh, it's like my 20s.
It's a hard way to live.
That's life in the lockdown, isn't it? Unable to flow laterally down the line of scrimmage effectively. Average athleticism overall. Okay, that sounds like a mediocre prospect. We're going to put him on the board nonetheless. Finally, Robert Windsor. Like, we've taken a lot of names that sound like they should be British Royals, Murray. This is another guy.
Right.
This is
Windsor.
Here's from the House of Windsor. Robert Windsor, Penn State, projected in the 3rd to 4th round, 6'4", 285. Strengths, balance, helps to overcome some of his natural strength disadvantages he faces. Good range as a tackler allows him to corral runners. Effort and accuracy as a tackler are pleasant surprises. He's able to snag guys where most offensive tackles can't. Okay, he's a snagger. Weaknesses, he lacks gap discipline in the run game. Oh, forget this guy.
Well, they can teach him that.
Well, I don't know. That's number one. Gap control, but he lacks gap discipline in the run game. His upright build is too easily compromised when it comes to dropping anchor.
I thought you were going to say drop and trowel.
Well, no, I mean, I dropped anchor right before the show, just in case it really freed me up. All right, so put these three guys on the board. The Felger Mazz big board is complete for the day. Coming up next, let's bring in a guest, shall we? We've got so much football stuff floating around out there. Let's get help from our friend Paul Perillo from Patriots.com. Sunshine.com will join us right after Murray's update.